Hola a todos y bienvenidos a mi canal. Welcome back. So, today I'm going to be talking about the future of my collection, silicone dolls, and um, everything about dolls basically, and where I see my collection going in the near future. I am going to go ahead and actually grab something to cover up the little camera here, the screen, just so that I am more motivated to actually look at the lens and not like look at myself on like the viewfinder area. So yeah, today we're just going to be talking about that. I have little baby Nala here, and I showed her in my last two previous videos, so if you want to see more videos with her, you can go ahead and check out my channel. I have an unboxing and a changing video. So I have sold pretty much all of the dolls that I had before. So the only doll that I currently have is Little Miss Nala, and I was able to actually find a baby from Silicone Snuggle Babies, and I have never purchased a doll from them before, but I have been looking into buying a doll from Silicone Snuggle Baby for a while, just because her babies are super affordable and they appear to be pretty good quality and painted very well. And another thing that I thought that was really nice is that she does offer darker skin tone babies, so she does offer AA babies, which is pretty rare, especially when it comes to the cheaper dolls or less expensive or whatever you want to call it. They tend to not really come in those darker skin tones. So I was really happy that I was actually able to find, I'm just looking at my invoice. I've been looking at this invoice like every day since I bought it because I'm so excited for this baby to come. But I'm really happy that I was able to find this baby because the baby was actually ready to ship, which is another thing that's pretty rare to find in her store. All of her babies are made to order, so I don't know if this was a baby that she made specifically for ready to ship, or like maybe somebody canceled their order or something like that. I don't know, but I was able to find this baby, and it had all of the features and everything that I wanted. I did want an open-eyed baby because all the babies that I've had so far have been sleeping, and I don't mind having the sleeping babies. I think they are very nice, especially for realism and things like that. Sometimes I think that the sleeping babies might look a little bit more realistic than the awake babies sometimes, but I did want some open-eye babies because back when I was collecting reborn dolls, I pretty much only had open-eye babies. I'm trying to think, well, no, I had the twins and they were sleeping, but I always just preferred to have open-eye babies. So I feel like with the silicones, I've only really had closed eyes outside of my Ivita dolls that I had. So yeah, so I was really excited and happy to be able to find the baby from Silicone Snuggle Babies so that I can have one of her dolls. And also I got the baby with all of the things that I wanted for the baby to have, like painted hair, a drinking wet system, and what else? And open eyes. So I'm very excited for that, and I cannot wait for her to get here. It is going to be another little girl. I do want a boy silicone baby, and I'm waiting around to see if she's going to post any ready to ship of the boys. And another thing is that the ready to ship baby just happened to be the sculpt that I wanted, that I had been looking at and wanted to purchase from her. Like, I had that sculpt sitting in my cart and I just hadn't purchased it yet. And then when I was just, for some reason, I think I saw in one of the groups I'm in on Facebook, one of the doll groups, I saw that somebody posted up a Silicone Snuggle Baby that they had purchased. And I went on there and I saw it, and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and just go to her page and see what's available. And I saw a ready to ship baby. I have seen some ready to ship dolls on there before, but like I said, this time it just happened to have everything I wanted. I was able to get, excuse me, my drinking wet system. I was able to get my open eyes, the painted hair, and it was a dark skin tone, which is also what I wanted. And the particular sculpt that I wanted was also all available at the same time. So I was so happy. The only thing is that the baby was a girl, and I don't mind having more girl babies. I do like the girls because I feel like they have a lot more clothing options than boy babies, and then you can add like little headbands and you know, little cute hats and stuff like that. Not saying that you can't add hats on your boy babies, but I mean, there's just a lot more variety of cute clothes and stuff like that for the girls. But anyway, I do eventually want to have a baby boy from Silicone Snuggle Baby, but I'm just going to go ahead and wait until I get my baby that's on the way, and then after that, I will go ahead and see about getting a boy, potentially from her or from somewhere else. I just want to have a little boy in my collection. But yeah, so that kind of leads into the next topic that I wanted to talk about in this video, is why my collection has changed. I basically sold all of my silicone dolls that I had outside of Nala. She's the only one that I have left. And then I have a reborn baby that I have been trying to sell, and I thought that he actually sold, but I haven't been paid yet. You guys know how on eBay you always have bidders most of the time that don't pay. So that's the dilemma with that. And then I have the giveaway baby, which, update on the giveaway, I have not heard back from the winner of the giveaway, so I'm going to be picking a new winner. So I will probably post that video up tonight, probably sometime after I post this one up, showing the new winner. So I'm just gonna like input all the names all over again and then just pick a new winner, because that giveaway winner did not respond. I sent out the email on Saturday. Today is now Tuesday, so they've had 3 days to respond. Well, 4 days if you count today, and I haven't heard back from them, so I'm just going to pick a new giveaway winner for that silicone baby that I posted in my giveaway video. So I will go ahead and choose that winner today, and then again post that video up tonight. But yeah, so the reason why I sold all my dolls is because I kind of wanted my collection to go in a different direction, and I also felt like I had too many dolls and I wasn't really like bonding with any of them. Sella, you guys know I had a pretty good bond with Sella, and my Nikita Brown baby that I had bought before I bought Nala, which was the Mason sculpt. This is the Mandy, so they were twins, but this is just the girl version, and obviously this one is biracial or AA, and then the other one was just Caucasian, and it was a boy. So I ended up selling him. I did have a decent bond and connection with him, but I just kind of decided that I wanted to go back to really only having biracial or AA babies in my collection. I don't have a problem with having Caucasian babies. I don't think that's an issue or anything like that. I just feel like in the doll community, because there aren't that many AA or biracial babies in general, every time I would see like an AA baby or biracial baby, I would just always want to have one of those. And I feel like I also just want to collect dolls that look more like me, if that makes sense. And I think sometimes when we are buying dolls, we may like pick out a particular sculpt because they remind us of a baby that we knew, or our sibling, or our child, or ourselves. And I feel like for me, I just kind of want my babies to look more like me in terms of skin tone and hair and things like that. So that's the main reason why I sold them, and also because I just want my collection to be a little bit smaller, because at that time I had 3 babies, and I'm also planning on having 3 to 4 babies again. But again, I just kind of want to have AA and biracial babies in my collection from now on, so I don't foresee myself collecting any more Caucasian babies. Again, nothing wrong with collecting Caucasian babies. I'm just saying, for me, I want the baby to be biracial or AA because, I don't know, I just like my dolls to look more like me, personally. And I think that all dolls are beautiful and things like that. But again, that's just my personal preference for what I want for my collection and the future of my collection and everything like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much what I have planned for the next, I would say, month and a half, 2 months or so. Maybe for the rest of the year, I don't know. But I know that I am expecting a baby from Silicone Snuggle Babies, like I said. And I also want to get a baby boy, an AA boy. And beyond that, I don't really have anything else planned. I also kind of considered getting a bigger silicone baby, like a baby that's more of what Sella's size was, because I have so many newborn girl clothes that I wish I could use, but I don't have a newborn girl baby anymore. So I have been considering that and looking into getting one of those, but that'll probably be further down the line this year, where I would go ahead and pick up one of those babies. I don't know exactly the artist or anything yet, but provided I am going to get my Silicone Snuggle Baby, so most likely I'll just end up ordering a few more of those dolls, because like I said, they are pretty affordable. And I do like that she now offers drink and wet systems, because I remember like a year or maybe even 2 years ago, when I was first looking into buying babies from Silicone Snuggle Baby, they did not offer drink and wet systems. So now they do, and I'm really, really happy for that. Because even though I don't really use the drink and wet systems on my babies that often, I do like having it in case I do want to use it. Like, for example, I think I've had Nala for, how long have I had Nala? I bought her on the 16th of April. Today's May 4th, so I've had her like 2 weeks now, and I still haven't used her drink and wet system, not one time yet. So I have yet to use her drink and wet system, which is really surprising, because usually when I get, you know, like these drink and wet babies, I want to use it immediately, right? But I haven't used it yet, and I will definitely get around to doing so at some point. But I just like having the drink and wet system, because even though I don't use it that often, it's still just something I like to have when I want to role play, and it's just fun. I just always liked having drink and wet babies. I remember when I bought a water baby. I don't know exactly what year this was, but I think this was in 2016 or 2017 when they came out with the Water Babies 25th anniversary, and it was more advanced than the Water Babies in the past, because it had like a drink and wet system. Like, you could feed the baby. You filled up the doll with water, and it had like that soft, it was kind of like having a silicone baby, but obviously not the same. It was a baby doll, but I can't remember if I had bought my Ivita dolls at the time, or if I hadn't bought those and I just wanted like something that was going to be as close to a silicone baby as possible, that I could get with the money I had at the time. So I had one of those water babies. I don't think I have it anymore, but it was pretty nice and fun to have. So yeah, like, I've just always liked having dolls with drink and wet systems. I just think it's fun to role play, like changing their diaper and feeding them a bottle and stuff like that. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention is whether or not I'm going to start collecting reborns again. And the answer to that is no. I don't have any plans on ever purchasing any more reborn dolls. Again, nothing's wrong with them. I just found myself, in love with the silicone dolls. Like, even me having Ivita dolls in the past, having Amal and Manny, I just loved them. Like, I just loved having a silicone baby, even though Amal and Manny obviously were not as realistic as even a reborn, at least to me. They did look pretty realistic, but they weren't as realistic as like some of the reborns I've made, in my opinion. I just still preferred having them over a reborn. I just like the softness of the silicone. I like the way it feels when you like hold the baby in your arms. I like the fact that, again, you can have a drink and wet system, the fact that you can give them full pacifiers. This little girl can't have a full pacifier because her mouth is too small. She has to have like super micro preemie or super modified ones. But if you get babies with like a fully open mouth, like you get a newborn size or something like that, some preemies could even take full pacifiers as well. But she's a micro preemie, so she can't. The fact that you can give them full pacifiers is also something that I really like, bottles and stuff like that. So I personally feel like the silicone dolls for me are like more realistic than the reborns as far as in the feel, the fact that I can give them pacifiers, having the drink and wet system, just the feel of the silicone, the softness, and all of that. I just can't see myself ever collecting another reborn. Never say never, maybe I will, but right now I'm kind of just content with having my silicones. And also the full body silicones offer just so much more options when it comes to dressing them. You can display them in just a diaper and that's it. So you don't even really have to put like a full clothing on them. You can just have them in a diaper or a sleeveless onesie, or you can also give them baths. I know that people say that you shouldn't, but Nala's never had a bath, and my other baby from Nikita Brown never had a bath. I think Sella had 1 bath, maybe 2 baths. And then the baby that I had very briefly from Kimberly Dolls, he had 1 bath when he came home as well. But I really don't bathe my silicone dolls that often, but the fact that you have the option to be able to do so, I feel like is worth it. In case you're one of those people that do like to bathe your babies, you can do that, which is great. And yeah, I don't know, I just love everything about having the full body silicone babies. So I don't think I would go to having anything else. For me, I don't think I would ever want to collect a partial silicone. I know that those are options, but I just never really thought about it. Every time I'm interested in buying a new baby, I just always look for full body silicone dolls. That's just kind of what I've been doing, and what I think I'll continue to do for the foreseeable future is only collecting the full body silicones. I just kind of think now, if I'm gonna buy a doll and I'm gonna spend my money on buying a new baby and spend all this money, I want the baby to have everything that I want. So for me, my list going forward is that the baby has to be full body silicone. The baby has to have a biracial or AA skin tone. As far as the eyes, I do want to collect open eye babies, but if the baby was sleeping, I wouldn't necessarily mind it either, because sometimes the sleeping babies are they just look so peaceful and so serene, and sometimes I like that. So the open eyes thing is like a, you know, sometimes depending on the baby, I may want them to be sleeping or open eyes. It doesn't really matter as much. As far as hair is concerned, I don't really know if I have a preference with the rooted hair or painted hair. I'm about to get a baby with painted hair for the first time, so I am going to see how that goes. I do think that the rooting on the dolls does look super natural. At least Nikita Brown does a really good job at rooting the hair. You can tell it's like 1 hair at a time. It's rooted very well. So the hair on Nala looks super realistic in my personal opinion. The only thing is that with Sella, I had a problem with her hair coming out in the back of her head. And the shedding was, I mean, it wasn't awful, but just, you know, with every day playing with your baby, or even just having them laying down with their head, like right now she's wrapped in a blanket, but regardless, the back of her head would be rubbing on the blanket, it would be rubbing on my clothes, it'll be rubbing on her mattress pad and her bassinet. So you do kind of risk the hair coming out in the back of the head, and I still haven't found a good solution for that. I'm thinking about getting like a satin cover to go in the bassinet, just because I know satin doesn't pull as much on hair, on real hair. So I'm thinking for the babies, maybe if I put like something satin in there, it won't rub as much. And try not to wrap them in too many blankets and put hats and stuff on them. That's what I'm trying not to do, so I don't have to worry about the hair rubbing out as much, because that was a problem with Sella. Her hair started balding in the back. What else? I mean, the balding wasn't bad. It wasn't like she had like bad balding, but like there were some patches where there was like very little hair there, and when I got her, it wasn't like that. So it was really just because of the rubbing up against the bassinet, clothes, hats, you know, blankets, stuff like that. So hair, I still don't know yet. What else? Size. I do want a full big newborn size girl, but not big, but I do want a newborn size girl, just because I have so many newborn girl clothes that I wish I could use, and sometimes I find myself wanting a bigger baby, but then at the same time I'm kind of thinking, do I really want another big baby? Because with Sella, she was so heavy that I really felt like I couldn't really hold her. Like this baby, I'm not getting tired of holding her because she's so small and she's a good weight for me, and I just don't know if I want to have a big baby like that again, because even though I have all this clothing, and there's so much more clothing when you get into newborn and 0 to 3, there's so many more clothing options. The babies in full body silicones, they can just be too heavy, at least for me. I think Sella was probably around 8 pounds, if not more than that. Like, she was heavy, so I couldn't hold her for long periods of time or anything like that because of her weight. So that's the only thing when you're getting into the bigger full body silicones. You can buy a lot more clothing for them, which is awesome, because I love buying clothing for me and for my dolls. But when you start getting into the bigger sizes of dolls, they just get really heavy in silicone. So that's the only thing that I would have to consider with size. But for now, I am buying like the preemie babies, because again, they're the perfect size for me. And with Stella, I was thinking, my goodness, like if all silicones are this heavy, I don't know if I want to continue to collect them because they're just so heavy. But now that I've had babies that are smaller, I just think I prefer the smaller babies more. I know that they don't have as many clothing options, but for example, even though this little girl is only 14 inches, she can still wear, like, this is a regular preemie outfit from Carter's. And you can see it fits pretty well. Like the onesie, the pants, nothing is too big on her. So she can still wear some preemie clothing, which I like, even though she's only 14 inches. So I was able to find quite a bit of clothing for her because the preemie clothing is starting to get more and more, they're starting to make more and more preemie clothing, I find, compared to, in years past. So I think I've covered just about everything that's on my list for dolls that I want. Oh, also Drink and Wet system for me is a must because even though I don't use it that often, it's like a luxury that I just want to have in all of my dolls if possible. If I found a full body silicone baby that had everything else and they didn't have a Drink and Wet system, maybe I would pick it up, but I feel like, again, now I'm trying not to buy dolls unless they have everything I want. That way I don't have buyer's remorse. And I just kind of feel like when you buy dolls on impulse and they don't necessarily have all the features that you want, you kind of risk not being able to bond with the baby or having buyer's remorse, having to sell dolls, and selling dolls is kind of hard. Honestly, like you have people that will buy the doll from you and then not pay, like, you know, due to non-payment. You have to relist items and go through all of that, or people usually can't get what you want for them. At least for me, I haven't been able to get what I actually wanted for all of my dolls. I always had to go lower to make the sale, but you know, it is what it is. At least they sold. So yeah, at this point, I'm not trying to buy dolls that don't have everything I want. If they don't have everything I want, I'm just going to pass on them because I don't want to go into that buyer's remorse again. I only want to buy dolls that I plan on keeping in my collection for a decent amount of time. Or for forever, I don't know. I do kind of feel like Nala is probably going to become a forever baby just because there's nothing about her that I don't like. She has everything I want. She's a good size. I like her skin tone. I like her hair. She has a Drink and Wet system. She is full body silicone, and I think her silicone quality so far is pretty nice. I like how soft it is. It's not super duper soft, which I actually like. I was just reading a post on Facebook the other day in one of my groups where there was a debate about dragon skin versus the ultra soft marshmallow silicone, and I've never experienced the marshmallow silicone before. I think Nala is probably the softest I've had, and I'm honestly really happy with this softness. She is soft, but she's not so soft that, you know, her limbs are just bending in really weird ways and stuff like that. Like, she's still firm, and that I feel like adds to her realism. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about the future of my collection and where I see my doll collection going in the future. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, dame un like, leave me a comment, and let me know if you agree with anything I said. Where do you see your doll collection going in the future? And I will see you guys in my next video, or we will see you guys in my next video, which hopefully is my unboxing of the baby that I'm waiting to receive. So thanks for watching, gracias por ver, y nos vemos en un otro video.